Within Figure 1, Graph A best represents the externality and welfare loss as a result of alcohol consumption, as it features a shift to the left in the demand curve, derived from the 3 a.m. cessation of alcohol service. In this instance, a negative consumption externality, which refers to an uncompensated adverse impact on the well-being of another, i.e. alcohol-fueled violence, would occur as the benefit to society exceeds the benefit to consumers. This is generally viewed as a failure of the market, as the level of consumption is relatively higher than what society requires. In Figure A, this externality is indicated on the graph as a difference between the private and social costs of the curve. In a free market, the equilibrium point A would produce quantity Qm. However, this does not reflect the true cost of alcohol consumption in the market. On the other hand, optimum equilibrium, QO, takes into account of both social and private costs. The welfare loss, also known as the total loss in surplus to society, is represented by the difference between the social value and the private cost of each unit produced between Qm and QO. This is a positive statement as it makes a claim about how the world works.
Question 2. The lockout laws are A. The private solution, B. Command and control regulation, C. Market-based policy, 1. Corrective taxes and subsidies, or D. Market-based policy, 2. Tradable pollution permits. So the answer is B. Command and control regulation. Command and control policies usually take the form of the regulations. Certain activities may be required or forbidden. So in this case, obviously the case involves many parties, and it is impossible for them to bargain on agreements or no possible size of the contracts between venues about the alcohol consumption. Therefore, the private solution is impossible. When private parties cannot effectively deal with external effects such as society disorders due to the excessive alcohol consumption, the government often steps in. Sometimes the government prevents socially inefficient activity by regulating behavior. In this case, which is the lockout laws.
Question 3. For student Leo Gordon, the government should educate rather than legislate to fight against ugly parts of Australian culture. An information campaign highlighting the negative effects of excessive alcohol consumption could A. Shift the supply curve to the left, B. Shift the demand curve to the left, C. Reduce the size of the externality per unit of alcohol, or D. Discourage alcohol consumption by increasing its price. So, since this campaign highlights the negative effects of excessive alcohol consumption, this implies that the result will be to reduce that behavior, i.e. excessive alcohol consumption, meaning there will be a reduction in the total demand for alcohol and thus a shift in the demand curve to the left, which is answer B. Now, this is represented graphically as a shift in the private demand curve from MPB1 to MPB2. This has the effect of bringing the marginal private benefit closer to the marginal social benefit, or if the regulations are too strict, lower than the social benefit. This means there will be a contraction along the supply curve, and a new equilibrium will be formed at Q2, P2. Before the shift, there would be a welfare loss represented by the area A plus B, this large triangle here, and after the shift, the welfare loss would be reduced to the smaller triangle B.
Question 4. Do you support lockout laws? The use of lockout to reduce antisocial behaviour and alcohol-related violence is only successful if the opportunity cost of introducing the lockout laws does not exceed the benefit gained from reducing welfare. The opportunity cost from introducing lockout laws include an increase in illegal and unregulated alcohol consumption and an increase in the use of substitute goods such as drugs that can create additional drug-related violence. Furthermore, lockout laws have in fact shifted the consumption of alcohol and its related behaviours to other markets such as Newtown, essentially increasing the size of the externality. Crime statistics show that alcohol-related assaults on licensed premises have climbed 60% in Newtown over 12 months to March. Another issue lockout laws have created is a shutdown in overall business and increased unemployment and reduced tourism in affected areas. Manager Dave Evans of Hugo's Lounge in King's Cross experienced a revenue falling by 60% since 2012 due to 36 different stringent conditions as a result of the lockout laws. Lockout has further reduced the personal liberties of users of Sydney nightlife. While regulating Sydney's nightlife moves the market closer to the socially optimum quantity, this model assumes that this is the only welfare that is affected by the regulations. Instead, there is a large opportunity cost caused by the run-on effects that are not taken into account in the simplified model. Therefore, from these normative statements, we do not support lockout laws in its effort to reduce alcohol-related violence.